everybody, and welcome back to the Her Hoop Stats podcast. I'm Christy Scott, joined by my sister from another mister, Cindy Brunson. Welcome, my friend.
Oh, it is so good to see your glamorous face. I miss you tons and tons.
Tons and tons. Oh my gosh.
And can I say, it's nice to be working alongside the Emmy-winning Christy Scott.
Wait, it glitched out.
Oh, would you like me to say it again? The Emmy Award-winning Christy Scott.
It was definitely a surprise. It was, it's been an Erica Kane situation, always nominated, and we just
right.
Last two.
I know.
Oh, shout out to Monumental, man. We have a really fun squad of people.
Yes, and I want to give you guys your flowers if I can, because this season I have been able to watch everybody and what they do and how they put the WNBA product out. And you guys are killing it. You're one of two teams that has a pre and post game show.
Yep.
And you guys were the first because Golden State just joined the party, and you've been doing it for a minute. And nobody, put your feet to the fire. You did it because the women deserve the coverage.
No doubt.
So yay to you, Megan McPeak, everybody on your pre and post game show. It is just such a treat to know that as a fan, I'm going to be overserved. It's wonderful. And thank you.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Big shout out to Ted Leonsis and Monumental for that, because they're so inclusive, Cindy. And I know I've told you that before about them, just with everything. And just to, like you said, serve the game the way it needs to be served. I think that's just, it's been really special to be involved with that, and to know that the community here and online everywhere is having an opportunity to meet the players in that intimate kind of way, right? The behind the scenes, the fun locker room stuff, the outreach programs in the area. So, I mean, just doing it the right way for the right.
And I think it's a big part of the reason why the fans have easily gotten behind this young team so quickly. And if anybody had on their bingo card that Washington would be above 500 heading into the All-Star break, goodness gracious, what a story.
How about that? And what do you think? What's your take on what that has not only meant for the team moving forward to finish the season in strong fashion, but what's your take on how this team has matured, I guess is the best word, from game one to the middle point?
Well, it's credit to Coach Johnson, right? That culture was instantly built. Like there was you didn't have to convince, you didn't have to get buy-in. And I credit the vets on the team, Brittany Sykes and Shakira Austin, for going, okay, this is the new deal and we're 10 toes down. And then the rookies are just fantastic. I mean, Sonia and Kiki hit the ground running, so you don't miss a beat there. Suge Sutton is doing a great job as the point guard, just making sure that everybody is where they're supposed to be and lined up. Jade Melvin has been playing fantastic. It's just, they are always an entertaining watch. I find myself looking at the schedule and going, when's Washington playing? Where are they? Because they just play the game the right way. It's exciting and fun, and they never let go of the rope. They are in every contest, and it is so entertaining as just a basketball fan. So I just think that the ceiling is so high for this Mystic squad. And they've gotten to a point now where people, the other teams in the league, the other 12, look at the schedule and go, oh man, we have to bring it. That's 40 minutes. That's 40-minute fight right there. There's no minute off that we can take, because they're going to kill us in the paint. They're going to kill us on the glass. They're going to be in every passing lane. And Brittany Sykes is on a mission to go, you didn't put me on All-Star. I'm going to play like an All-Star and make you regret not voting for me every single minute, everything that's left the rest of the season.
Yeah. I mean, they apply pressure. And I think that to me has been the most impressive thing. And not just pressure defensively, because as the youngest team in the WNBA, right, they've been able to stay disciplined on the defensive side. And I think that to me has been the most impressive. But also their
Mhm.
assist numbers, Cindy. I mean, they're so well
Huge.
connected, and the chemistry is like that. I mean, they've had
Mhm.
over 20 assists in the last 3 games, and they've won all three. So I
Yep.
think that has a lot to do with it. But their defensive discipline, I think, has been top tier. And the rookies are just pro ready and ready made to compete at this level. And I think that to me has been most impressive as well. But the leadership, and I'm going to throw Steph Dolson in there as well.
Oh,
With
for sure. Yeah, Big Mama Steph. Oh, and her fashion game? Wow.
that, did you
She's
see?
taking it up a notch.
She
I
is.
mean, I'm always impressed, but this season in particular, and again, maybe because I have a little more time to focus, but wow, she has just a chef's kiss.
Yeah, she's getting that done. But I think, she has said, and I'm not putting words in her mouth because she has actually said this, but I think
Mhm.
she's a savant when it comes to her understanding of the game. Obviously,
Yes.
winning titles at UConn when she did, and winning with Chicago in 2021 in the
Mhm.
WNBA, and the 3v3, right, with USA.
Yes.
So she's a gold medalist there. But I just think with what she has been able to do as a leader, she said she wants to get into coaching, right? And you can
I can see
tell
that.
the wheels spin. Like we go to all the practices, so we're able to watch her communicate with the younger players. And same with Slim. I'm not begrudging anyone else, but I'm just speaking
Mhm.
specifically about Steph Dolson right now. But the way that she understands the game, right? Defensively saying, we can't overhelp right here. And I'm like, talk to him, Steph. It's just like these little
Yeah.
nuances that, you hear from vets, but you also hear it from the coaches, right? So she's doubling
Yeah.
down on what the coaches are saying, but there's a different level of understanding for me. And I can see her being ready made to be a coach one day,
Yeah.
whenever that, yeah.
Yeah, let's see her on a WNBA sideline, please.
Yeah, that would be fun. That would be
That's
fun.
what I want.
Uh,
I want more women in the broadcast booth. I want more women coaching on the sidelines.
No doubt. No doubt. No doubt.
Yep.
And with that, let's stick with the rookies just overall. I know you were touching on Sonia Citron and Kiki
Mhm.
Iriafen, BC, and Lucy Olson has come in and made an impact off the bench. Of course, Georgia
Yeah.
Amor injured this year, but she's over there with a notepad, so she's going to come back ready to go next season. But these rookies across the board, I mean, in DC and all across the league, what do you think
Yeah.
has been the biggest difference in this rookie class this season as opposed to last year or even the year before that?
I just think, it's put them in and press play. Like, this group in particular,
Yeah.
across the board is ready. We saw the top of the table from last year's class and the class before be ready. I was looking at the draft classes for the last few years just to see where those players are, and it's shocking how many aren't in the league anymore
Wow.
from the first round. Like this is such a competitive league. But I think we're not going to be saying that about this draft class. I think these players are here to stay for a while and have just hit the ground running. So credit to the collegiate coaches getting them pro ready, coming out of programs that are built to win national championships and put pros into the WNBA. And I think as fans, we're all benefiting from the skill set. And I also go back to these babies that you have on the Mystics in particular,
Yeah.
all went through the COVID pandemic, right? Where they just had to do their best to find a gym and get shots up. And that is evident in what we're seeing on the floor today because the shooting percentages are so much higher than we're used to seeing with rookie classes. And
Mhm.
so, as awful as the pandemic was, that is a good part that came out of it because these players are just ready to go.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, we saw that most recently in yesterday's game, right, with Indiana,
Mhm.
and you saw with Dallas with Paige Bueckers being,
Yeah.
back number one overall selections in the WNBA draft, battling
Yeah.
against one another. I saw this picture today where Caitlin, I don't know what happened in the game, but Caitlin was like swelled up, like cheering for her teammates. And then Paige was kind of looking over her shoulder at Caitlin. So this is
Uh-huh.
like, and not in a mean way, is super
Right.
competitive as it should be. And I'm not begrudging that at all. So be clear.
No, we
I,
love
I
it.
love that. I love to see, that picture, kind
Yes.
of encapsulates where the game is on a
Mhm.
competitive level, right? With both
Right.
number one picks in the last 2 seasons going at it, right? What did
Right.
you think of that game?
I thought Paige was thinking, "Where is Sarah Strong and AZ Fun?"
Yeah, yeah,
You know? Because that
yeah,
would be a different game. Listen, Caitlin is a fantastic player, right? Generational talent. It's been a seismic impact on the WNBA with just the number of eyeballs that she brings to the
right,
party. And that is fantastic.
right.
But Indiana was on the cover of Sports Illustrated before the season started for a reason. It's not just Caitlin. That there are talented players up and down that roster. Carolyn Peck made that point just a couple weeks ago
Right.
that you can have your star player in Caitlin miss half your games and you're still okay. You know,
Right.
you're not out of the playoff race by any stretch of the imagination. You're holding your own. And when Caitlin comes back and she's full strength, then it just gets more dynamic because of her ability to pass the basketball.
Yeah.
So, but when I was looking at that game, that's all I was thinking. I was like, this isn't fair yet. Just wait till there are more weapons around Paige
Yeah.
because Paige's efficiency numbers were
Yeah.
off the chart.
I mean,
Her
she's so
midi, the assist, like all of it. Her game is just so silky. It reminds me so much of Elena Deladon, but at the guard position, right?
mhm.
EDD never looked like she was sweating,
No.
but the numbers were just prolific. And I get the same vibe from Paige.
Yeah. Oh, I love that comparison. I mean, yeah, just working her down, massaging it
Yeah.
down, going for the kill. I mean, she's just so calculated, right? And
Mhm.
pro ready. But I think I heard Rebecca Lobo and Ryan Rucco on the broadcast talking about what Paige was saying about the biggest adjustment that she's had to make, right? I mean,
Right.
obviously winning a collegiate championship and a title with UConn and Gino Auriemma, and then going right into the WNBA. I mean,
Yeah.
really quick turnaround there, and how recovery has been something that Paige has circled as being very important to her.
Mhm.
What do you think about the condensed schedule for the WNBA players who go really? They're going to be in the top of the draft, right? The players who
Right.
are in a tournament, so you're going to have a really long and extended collegiate career and season. And then a couple of days later, a week later, you're at the draft. And then right after that, you're right in the gym for preseason conditioning and training camp.
Learning a new offense, meeting new players, meeting new teammates, trying to gel, all of it. Yeah, it's a lot. This has
Yeah.
kind of been my little rant, and especially now that I've been able to just sit and watch, I'm very concerned about the player health and safety with the grind of this season. We have seen multiple teams, be vocal. Satu Sabali with the Phoenix Mercury, 9 games in 18 days. Minnesota's in a stretch right now where they're playing 9 games in 16 days, telling Phoenix, hold my beer. But there's just not enough time for rest and recovery for these elite athletes. So I know we're at 44 games this season. I kind of wish we would peel back to 40 since we're having more teams, more travel. You know, you got another East Coast team in Toronto, another West Coast team in Portland. So a lot of cross country involved in that. I want the product to stay elite and not suffer. And I think rest and recovery is a big component of that. And 40 games to me is plenty. And you can wrap around the Olympic schedule, no problem. We saw
Right.
that.
So that, yeah.
So I know everybody, now that everybody is paying attention to the WNBA and lots of billionaires are involved and they just want to cash checks, I get it. But I'm looking at the quality of play and the quality of games. That's what's exciting. Every night, any team can beat any other team because of the wealth of talent. But you look at a Dallas team that has 4 starters out injured,
No,
that's not good for business. It's
no.
just not.
Yeah.
So that's my little rant. I just want the product to be the best it can be. And if as a fan, that means I only watch 40 games, I'm cool with that. I
Yeah.
really am. I don't need more
Mhm.
because I want the quality to stay elite.
No, understood and point taken. And you're looking at, we were just talking about the Dallas Indiana game from yesterday, right? And
Yeah,
Enrique Bubé coming off the thumb injury, but no Dejanay Carrington on the floor. And they're just a
right.
different team when they're full strength
Yeah,
and
totally different.
makes a difference. Yeah.
Yeah.
But with that, I know, Angel Reese being on the cover of 2K26, man, they were just here.
Yay, Angel.
God,
On the
just
day her Reebok shoe dropped. Like, woo!
I know. And they were just
Yeah.
here when they played the Mystics. It was at George Mason University, and
Mhm.
it was just really fun to see her in that
Yeah.
environment. And I saw there was a picture or a video or something of her with a little young fan who had an angel halo on with the Reese's peanut butter
Mhm.
cup costume or something. But it's been so cute to me just to see all the things that these young players in the league
Yeah.
have just taken hold of as they should, but also, the me bounds situation and how that got copyrighted and how Angel Reese is like, selling T-shirts now because it was
She turned a negative. She turned a
cyber.
cyberbullying moment into a positive.
How about that?
While she lines her pockets and helps attack other cyber bullies out there. That was so well done by her. And she's doing all of this, mind you, Christy,
Yeah,
while she is the only player in the WNBA averaging a double double.
how about
The
that?
only one. She's
Right.
got 8 straight double doubles now, and
Yeah,
Chicago is starting to figure it out. After the devastating injury to Courtney Vandersloot, the
yeah,
Sky are 4-3 in their last 7 games. This
yeah,
whole point forward deal, thank you, Alyssa Thomas, for putting out the blueprint of what that looks like.
exactly.
But now we see that from Angel Reese. Career
Yeah,
high in assists. Her
yeah,
shooting percentages are higher than they were last year. She's scoring at the same clip. Like everything about her game, even to her free throw percentage, is elevated from a series ago or season ago rather. And that's all we want to see, right, Christy?
yeah,
Growth and development. Show
yeah.
me something different. What did you add to your bag? What are you doing to make yourself better? To give
Mm.
me something more to be excited about as a fan. And Angel is checking all of those boxes.
And she is, and she even admitted like she was slow out of the gates this season, statistically
Mhm.
speaking, in terms of her shooting percentage and not
Yep.
finishing right as well and being kind of off balance. But then, she said, I sat down with myself and I got myself recalibrated, and we've seen a
Yeah.
difference in Reese, over the last stretch of games, as you said, with the double doubles, and I mean,
Yep.
at one point it was 17 points, 17 rebounds, and five
Yeah.
assists over a stretch
Yeah.
of games.
She's had a triple double.
So,
Like, who had
exactly.
that on their bingo card? I
I
mean, come on.
But she also said when she was a youngster that she was a guard, right?
Yes.
So found
Yes. That when she got to college, she had to put her back to the basket.
right, right
Yeah.
at Maryland and at LSU, right? But I think
Mhm.
we've seen like, I mean, just watching her in person, just skill set wise, like the angle that she attacks you. I would
Yeah.
hate to because I played against her mom, truth be
Okay.
told, back in the
Yep.
day. Very similar skill set, right? Very
Okay.
aggressive basket, rebounding machine. She played at UMBC, I played at Maryland, and we played against each other. I think I don't know if it was senior year. I don't know, but we played against each other one time. But it was
Okay.
they're eerily similar in how they play. But it's that angle that she attacks from the lane line, and it's like so precisely here. It's not just right down the lane line and then try to shoot it. She's like
Yep.
going right at you, getting right into the body. And when she was here in DC, she was 12 for 15 from the line. So, I
Mm.
mean, clearly a problem for opponents to guard. But what do you see moving forward for the second half of the season for Chicago and Angel Reese?
Chicago is another team like Washington. People are not going to want to see them on the schedule. They have started to figure it out. After the devastating injury to Courtney Vandersloot, they've had to recalibrate. Angel is leading the charge, and Camila Cardozo, oh my goodness. I want to learn Portuguese just so I can cheer for her in her native language because she is crushing it.
Yes.
That whole Twin Towers situation where we're seeing, and this is just another development piece for Angel, post to post. The post to post passing, I think, has elevated that offense as well. And that happens with Angel. And it doesn't matter who's in, right? It can
Right.
be Elizabeth Williams, it can be Camila. Like, it's just, there are so many options now. And as that team continues to grow and get healthy and just rely on one another, they are going to be problematic. That first round of the playoffs, I don't even think home or road matters,
Right.
because
For sure.
anybody is going to be able to get anybody.
I agree. I agree. And let's talk about that a little bit. And when you're looking at, the second half of the season, people are going to
Mhm.
begin jockeying and having conversations and prognosticating about what the playoffs are going to look like in the playoff picture. And I know
Yeah.
it's very early, but it is the halfway point. But what do
Yeah.
you see that stable looking like for the playoffs and teams that could make a surge and get into, the top echelon of playoff position?
I think the two teams at the tippy top of the table, for me, are the defending champion Liberty and the Minnesota Lynx. Minnesota right now with the best record in the WNBA. And now that the Liberty have figured out how to play so long without Jonquel Jones, they're starting to turn the corner and do
Yeah.
the right things, especially now that Tosh Cloud is back in the lineup. I think they gravely missed her when she was out. Also should have been an all-star, FYI. Anyway, for me, those two teams have, just because of the caliber of weapons that they have when they are completely healthy, frightening.
Right.
And then you can't look past Phoenix. I'm very curious to see if Phoenix can stay in the top 4 in the league with
Okay.
their brutal road schedule this month.
Yeah.
They play a ton of games in a row on the road, only broken up by the All-Star break.
Yeah.
So if they can stay road tough, I think the addition of DeWanna Bonner is so helpful in a variety of ways because she's a matchup nightmare. And for
Yeah.
me, I had no problem with Bonner joining Phoenix because AT is your engine,
Yeah.
literally. She leads the WNBA in assists. And if your engine is happy because her personal life is sorted,
Right.
that's just a win for everybody wearing the Mercury purple and orange. That's just a no-brainer. And
Yeah.
you have a two-time WNBA champion who can help these young rookies who are not used to the WNBA, right? It's like Euro light. There's so many foreign players on the roster.
Yeah.
And because DB and AT have played so much overseas, they have commonalities language wise. They can relate to these players and say, this is what we're talking about. Remember when you did this in Eurobasket or whatever.
Right.
And it makes sense, right? It resonates in EuroLeague play. So I think that's a win. So I'm very curious to see if Phoenix stays top 4
Okay.
or if they give ground to a team like a healthy Indiana. Does
Mhm.
Indiana, once we saw how devastating, and yes, it was against a shorthanded Dallas team,
Right.
but man, you're reminded that, geez, Indiana really doesn't miss DeWanna, right? Like they just kind of keep it rolling,
Yeah.
especially if they're getting contributions from a WNBA champion like Tosh Howard. And you have Aaliyah Boston. For me, is she getting her touches? When she gets her touches, they blow people out of the water.
Yeah.
So, and a really good another person who can do post to post passes as well is Boston. So I'm very curious to see if Indiana plays its way into the top 4.
Right.
And then the battle for 5, 6, 7, and 8, I think Cam Brink coming back for the Sparks
Yeah.
is going to be, will we see the Sparks enter the chat?
Right.
A resurgence like we've seen with Chicago.
Right.
Can Las Vegas hang on?
Yeah.
Will Las Vegas be a playoff team? And I can't believe I just uttered that sentence. But
And
despite the face of the league and Asia Wilson and her Herculean efforts night in and night out, until the rest of the Olympians in that starting lineup play like it, I don't know. I don't know about Vegas. I see them giving up ground to, I know they just beat Golden State, but that felt like a playoff game. That was toe to toe. That was blow for blow. I mean, and if it takes every ounce of everything you have to beat an expansion team,
right.
I don't know what that says about Vegas moving forward. So that Vegas is the team that I'm very shaky on in the top 8. And then I just can't wait to see who comes up. And can Seattle figure it out? Seattle's inconsistency makes me just reach for a bottle of wine and put a straw in it. I don't even reach for the glass anymore. I'm just put the straw, like, what are we doing, Seattle? You're so good. You're so loaded. Nneka Ogwueke is playing at her MVP level of 2016.
No doubt.
Right there, you have enough. Skylar Diggins is there. She's an all-star. Gabby Williams, a first-time all-star. Ezzy Magbagor is a defensive powerhouse.
Yes.
There are so many weapons on that roster. And for them to be as inconsistent as they are, especially at home, it's vexing. So if they can figure that out, if they can use the All-Star break to recalibrate and just kind of all get on the same page, I don't know. I love their potential and I love them on paper. I just need to see more of the good and not they can't let go of the rope against the Mystics. You have the lead going into the fourth quarter, and then you let Brittany Sykes go bananas. She scored 10 points in the fourth quarter. Literally said, "Hey, Washington, get on my back. I got this. Let's go." And it was no problem, right? Again, Sykes should be an all-star. Anyway, but that just can't happen if you're Seattle, right? So if they can fix because for me, it's not talent. Malonga is coming along. She's being, just these flashes of minutes, and they're doing such a great job with her development wise. So the pieces are there. For me, it's the mental. If they can just sort the mental, they can be devastatingly good. And I mean, vie for championship good. So just need Seattle to figure it out.
Yeah, I agree. And just going back to what you were saying about, Bonner joining Phoenix, but what do you think the biggest difference or issue was with her not fitting in with the Fever? Like what do you think that came down to? And I know, there hasn't been a lot of details about what happened with that situation.
Right.
But, just when you said about DB being this great leader and mentor, 15-year vet, right? Coming through the picture. But I remember her saying when she was in Indy at the media day, and how she said, she didn't want to get in anybody's way. She just wanted to be kind of the straw that stirred the drink for
right.
Not the bottle of wine you were talking about. But I think with that though, how is that role for her? How is she going to star in a role, and what role is that in Phoenix, and how is that different than what she had in Indy?
Well, I think with Phoenix, right, we have learned in the WNBA, you have to be adaptable because every team plays a little bit different and has different sorts of weapons, right? New York, when healthy, is a matchup nightmare because of Jonquel Jones.
Yeah.
But DeWanna Bonner can help in that respect that she can defend the other 4 players on the floor.
Right.
And so that gives you an opportunity to say, all right, this is how we're going to try to defend JJ and negate what she might do. So I think that's where her specialty phase. I'll never forget when it was winning time and Diana Taurasi told DB, "I will buy you a handbag if you just shut down their leading scorer." And she did. She got her a Louis Vuitton handbag for the first chip. And that was the carrot that DeWanna needed. And DeWanna, for Phoenix, when she was here in the Valley, she always defended the opposition's best scorer. Yeah. Always. That was her job. Didn't matter if it was the 1, 2, 3, or 4. That was her assignment. So she can do that as Swiss Army knife. I can't help but think, and I don't know any inside information. I know nothing. But I looked at Lexi Hull's stat line against Dallas. She had 3 points. And I was like, I bet DeWanna thought she should be starting over Lexi.
Okay.
That just because she started for Stephanie in Connecticut all of those years. She didn't come off the bench. No. And even if it was a start and then a quick pull, or a start after 4 or 5 minutes come out, I just think DeWanna wanted to start. And again, I know nothing, no inside information, but her entire career, she's been a starter. Yeah. And not be a starter when you look at somebody that is talented in Lexi Hull, but streaky. So and so I think she recognized that Indiana was playing to Caitlin's comfort level, right? She and Lexi are very close friends. They go on vacations together, whatever, and that's awesome. But when Caitlin wasn't playing and DeWanna still wasn't starting, I think that's when things kind of went to the left.
Oh, okay. And see, I don't know. I don't have any inside information either.
No, and this is just me watching the games. Like,
Same.
I don't,
Same.
looking at body language and, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But for those in the Indiana fan base that called DeWanna a quitter, no,
Uh,
that's no,
yeah.
no. But I think she was sold, by Stephanie, her coach in Connecticut. Yes, this is how it's going to look. This is what we want you to do. And whatever that list was, DeWanna didn't feel like Stephanie was checking it off.
Ah, okay.
So,
That's tough. I mean, I didn't play for 15 years, but I played for
right?
years. I could see that. I'm just trying to, and that we always say this, we're empaths, right? We try to
Yeah.
feel what people feel. I think that would feel some kind of way. And I know I remember Allen Iverson when he bounced around at the end of his career with
Yeah.
different teams, and he said, "What MVP comes off the bench?" I mean, that
Right?
comes to
Yeah. Because
mind. That's just the ego.
you've been a certain way for a long time. Now, I don't think she's going to try to insert herself in the starting lineup at Phoenix because nothing was promised to her, right? It was, "Hey, we've cleared a spot. We want you here. You're going to be our Swiss Army knife. You're going to help us, defend Nafisa Collier. You're going to help us defend Neko Gumake and Ezzy Magbagor and Gabby Williams. You're going to be that person that
Right,
gives us the length that we currently don't have." Right?
right.
So I think it's a different ask and a totally different scenario as she returns to Phoenix. And shout out to the X Factor who just lifted the roof off PHX Arena when she checked in for the first time.
Yeah. And listen, I want to give you your flowers. I know you started this whole thing, and we're not ending right now, but just because we're talking about Phoenix right here, I'm going to give
Oh,
you your flowers, Cindy, because listen, your voice resonates through the city of Phoenix, Arizona. And I just want to give you some love on that because I mean it is something that people don't understand, like the underbelly of the work that it takes to be an elite level broadcaster, and you are that.
oh.
You are that, and your voice is missed, I will say, but that's not going to be for long. I am sure of that one thing.
Oh, you're sweet to say that. I take a little bit of comfort in the fact that Brittany Griner and I were told the exact same phrase. We're moving in a different direction. So, BG's a 9-time All-Star and, multiple Olympic gold medalist. So if that's the word that they used to part ways with her, then I'm in pretty good company.
Oh, baby, but it's always love over here. Then when I see you,
Oh.
easy until you pop. I'm gonna do. That, that's how we roll. But oh,
Right
man,
back at you, right back at you. No, but what I do appreciate about the extra time that I've had this season is I have gone to a variety of WNBA arenas around the country. I'm hoping to make the Mystics in September. Haven't finalized my plans yet. And it's been really cool to buy the ticket, sit in the seat, because I'm not doing the media thing. I want to have skin in the game and participate. And I started out at Golden State. I've been up to Seattle. I went to Dallas when they played at American Airlines Arena. I'm going to Barclays at the end of this month. I've got the Vancouver game because I haven't been to one of those Canada games yet. So I want to see what Toronto does rollout wise there. The Seattle Storm and Atlanta Dream will play in that one. And then I'm going to Chicago to see Candace Parker's jersey retirement
my
there. So
God,
yeah, yeah.
I need to
So
there if I don't have another obligation. I just love her so much. Like I
right?
saw she got her jersey retired in LA. That
Yeah.
was something else. But to go back to where it all started, like
Yes.
original started for baby Candace,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
going to be just overtaken with emotion. I mean, she's just a beautiful soul. And
Right?
for everything that she's given to the game, I mean, she deserves both of those and more. And all of the arenas need to retire Candace's number. I mean, she's
Yeah.
just like that. And, and she knows, I'll tell that to her face. But
Yeah. Yeah.
just it's positivity and just fierceness and persistence through the injuries and her new book and everything she was talking about. I heard her on
Yes. I
a
love her book. It kinda helped me get out of my feelings and
oh
give me
yeah,
some direction after I got that news, earlier this spring about not being back with the Mercury for a 4th season. Shout out to Candace, and some of those passages really helped me lift my head.
Oh, I need to go get that book then because yeah, we'll
Yeah.
talk. But I love that so much. But man, I need to circle that date. We may have to have a Chicago Garrett's popcorn mix situation going on in Chicago for that. Maybe
Ooh, yeah, it's the 25th of August. It's a Monday night.
might have
So, yeah,
I
yeah.
have to dash and come back or something. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah. Oh, I
circling,
would love I would love that.
circling that on the calendar for sure. And
And
speaking of,
I've already bought 2 seats, so
don't listen, you are testing my nerves right now. Don't let me get my phone and put it in there already, and then stamp get a ticket already printed out. Yeah, we definitely have to check that out for sure. I
Yeah,
know the second half of the season is going to be fun. I know we were talking about jockeying and possibly for the championship, but let's just go
mhm.
and run through like some mid-season awards and where
Okay.
you feel that stands and what it looks like. So let's start with who do you feel right now is the rookie of the year in the WNBA? And I know that's hard to tell because it takes some
Right,
time traction for these rookies, and they're all spectacular and they're all making a lot of noise.
mhm.
But who are, I would say, who are your top five, and then give us the one that's going to wear the crown.
Um, for me, because I saw her play in person, Paige Bueckers.
Okay.
She just and it's the efficiency for me.
Yeah, she's a toughie.
It's and
Mhm.
she is the only player that is at the top of the scout now consistently for Dallas. So, I saw her getting double and triple teamed by Indiana, like, and still producing. So she's at the top of the list for me. And then, of course, the two rookies for your Mystics, Sonia and Kiki, they are right there. Congratulations to them on being all stars. Um, yeah, for me, I think those three have really
Okay.
kind of went head and shoulders above the rest of the rookie class, which has been outstanding, by the
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, no, tremendous. And I
Yeah.
mean, like you said, just ready made, pro ready. And I've heard this a lot, like, and not necessarily with Paige, but with the two in DC here that they're better as pros than they were in college, and they were exceptional in college. So that's like saying a lot. But I've heard all
But it's spent well, Paige is what we saw at UConn, right?
I,
She is who she is.
yeah,
But Kiki was deferring to Juju, right? It was Juju's show and Kiki was a compliment.
right.
And you can say the same about Sonia. When you have Olivia and Hannah and all of those pieces, you're
Yeah.
just the glue. And now when they're getting a position where they can show, "Well, I got a bag too, then we get to see it. It's really awesome.
Yeah.
But I
No,
think the piece for Kiki
yeah.
is there was a question about the physicality,
Mhm.
right? Could she bang? Would she hold up? Would she get in there and scrum and really be tenacious?
Yeah.
And she has been fantastic in that phase. And USC just played a beautiful brand of basketball, rip and run, and they just didn't get in anybody's face like that. They were just too busy running up and down the floor and scoring in people's face. So they didn't have to show that they could flex. And so we really didn't get to see that phase from Kiki that we're getting to see now.
Yeah, agreed. And I think it's also, different defensive coverages. And I think she's seen that after the first 15 games, she shot
Mhm.
50% before Kiki did in the
Yeah.
NBA. But then now
Yeah.
she's seeing double teams and, getting shaded from different angles on the
Yep.
catch. First,
Yep.
second, she's getting collapsed on defensively. But still, I think she's continuing to maneuver and have the mental gymnastics to find a way to get the job done. And she's
Yeah.
being in different ways now, but Sonia Citron, I think you hit it right on the head. She was the glue at Notre Dame, and I think she's the same thing in that regard here in DC. But I think for what she's been able to do, and Neil Ivy just saying, "Go be you" in the
Yeah.
WNBA, I think that's what she's doing. And I think
Yeah.
when you have other players around you, it gives you that freedom to be authentically yourself. And I think that's what we've seen with the rookies.
Yeah,
That
for sure.
all three of them.
Yeah.
Um, and Paige will get it once everyone gets healthy. I want to see a healthy Dallas
Yeah.
Wings with Paige running the show because she just
Mhm.
in such a fluid way. I mean, she's just so
Yes.
icy with it. I love watching her play, and
Yeah.
her decisions. But let's go with MVP, and I almost said MB MVP because
Ah!
that's what it is.
Yep.
in Minnesota. She's getting a lot of attention, as she should, in that regard. A lot of mentions for her being the top dog when it comes to the
Mhm.
MVP race. Do you think it's MVP as the MVP?
Uh, no, I think it's AT MVP.
Okay.
Phoenix is the second best team in the WNBA record rise right now,
Yep.
and they have won 8 of their last 10 games. They have the best 10-game stretch record. Um,
Right.
and they finally beat Minnesota. I
Yeah.
was waiting to put AT over Fee
Okay.
until they could get that skin, right? You got to have that pelt to prove you can beat the person above you. And they
Okay.
did that. So for me, it's Alyssa Thomas leading the WNBA in assists. She is always overlooked in these conversations for what she does on the floor. And it just infuriates me. She
Yeah.
put down a career high 29 the other night. She has been the reason why Phoenix has been so successful. And there's just no getting around that.
Mhm.
And I just cannot stand when people don't recognize how she has generationally changed how we look at the game.
Yeah.
She is positionless,
She is.
and she is a person who has taken a liability, right? The shoulders, no,
Abrams.
tendon, whatever it is, yeah, labrums, whatever it is, she doesn't have them.
Oh,
And it doesn't matter. And
yeah.
she has proven that she can be a vital contributor at this level without shooting the three.
How
That
about
is
that?
massive. To
Major.
live and work in the painted area where
Yeah.
everybody knows you are going to be and
Yeah.
still produce at a high level is fantastic.
Yeah.
And so for me, Alyssa Thomas is just not getting the shine she deserves because nobody had Phoenix being this successful.
Mhm.
Nobody had Phoenix at the beginning of this season hitting the 10 threes a game and leading the league in that department. This is the vision that Nate Tibbetts wanted. Nick
Yep.
Urin, the general manager, got him the players from Europe to facilitate that 3-point shot making, the addition of Sammy Whitcomb. Amazing. But somebody's got to feed him the ball, and
Yeah.
that's Alyssa Thomas.
Yeah.
And for me, because of the surprise that Phoenix has been to everybody, she's the MVP because we expected this from Nafisa Collier. We
Right.
expected her to lead Minnesota in scoring, to lead, and be on this revenge tour, right? After losing out MVP last year to Asia Wilson.
Yeah.
So it's like, for me, Alyssa Thomas.
Wow. And why do you think it is that there isn't more consideration for Alyssa Thomas's skill set and her ability just to play inside the 3-point line, but also lead the league in assists? Like, what else does she need to do to garner that respect? I mean, I saw Brenda Freeze when she wasn't named an
Yeah.
all-star starter. Like, what are we
Yeah.
looking at? Like, what are we looking at, Cindy? Like, what is the issue there? Well, why isn't that
I
happening?
think I think it's fans not understanding basketball and just
Okay.
how vital she is, first of all.
Mhm.
And secondly, it's so easy to get distracted by, ooh, that's really pretty. I love when she shoots from, 37 feet away or whatever. It's like, oh wow, that's kind of like a trick shot almost. Instead of appreciating on the regular what it takes to be that consistent
Boom, boom.
and that amazing
Mhm.
night in and night out.
Yeah.
And always doesn't make the good pass, makes the great pass. I
Eh,
can't tell you how many times I've been on college campus gym floors and a coach will cite an Alyssa Thomas pass of this is what we're looking for. They
right.
pull it up on Synergy. This is what we want. See how she looked here, looked away, did this, did that. And it's not fancy. It's not super sexy. It's not behind the back, through the legs, over the head, blah, blah, blah. But it's effective,
Right.
right? She
Agreed.
makes not the good pass, the great pass, and does it consistently. And
Right.
I was one on the socials railing when she wasn't an all-star starter. And I will continue to beat the drum for her for MVP because she deserves it. Phoenix is not where it is if it doesn't have AT on the roster. Because look, they played the majority of the season without Copper.
Yeah.
Satu Sabali has been fantastic, but who's getting Satu the basketball?
Right.
Alyssa Thomas.
Yeah. Yeah. No doubt. And listen, I just recall when Maisha Hines Allen was here in DC with the Mystics, and obviously she played at Louisville with Jeff
Right.
Walls, and I know Jeff Walls pulled up some synergy stuff with
Yeah.
Alyssa Thomas for Maisha. I just remember
Yeah.
that backstory. You know how you keep nuggets as
Yeah.
broadcast.
Christy, she's invented a new position. Did we ever say point forward before Alyssa Thomas?
Yeah. I mean, to lead the league in assist is crazy. And the
Right?
fact
And she's almost at 10 a game. She's
and
almost averaging a double-double. And if she gets there, then she can join Angel Reese as the only other person averaging a double-double in the WNBA.
points and assists. I love it. But
Yeah.
sometimes, when you get, Diana Taurasi from Phoenix, right? And then Kobe
Right.
Bryant, late great Kobe. They were
Yes.
all MVPs one time and they played 20 years
Yes.
in or more. And sometimes it's the consistency of excellence, right? You were talking
Yeah.
about the top of it all, like boom, boom, night in, night out. You know what you're going to get. She's going to score inside the 3-point line. You can't
Yep.
stop her. Top 29 last week. Boom, boom, boom. Leads the league in
Mhm.
So, do fans or just people in general who watch the game, do you just get so comfortable with the fact that you know what they're going to do night in, night out, that it is like the ones who make a surge, like, oh, look at this player,
Mm.
because most improved because, wow, they went from here to here. But for Alyssa, it's like bop, 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 the same way as
Yes.
Coach. And
Yeah. She's like a metronome. And, oh, by the way, she's doing it while defending the opposition's best 4 and 5. Like,
Yeah. How about that? Yeah. I mean, this is something to think about. And that's why I love these podcasts because it lets you kind of fine tooth comb the reasoning behind things and
yes.
give people some thoughts. And I just think it just makes sense, right? I mean,
Yeah.
there is something to say about the consistency of excellence when you're talking about a player like AT across the board, like going back
Mhm.
to college. Like I just
Yeah.
think that it's been like that for her. And it's really interesting and intriguing to me, and I'm sure others. But with that being said, coach of the year. And that could go to a lot of different coaches this season, or right.
Good.
It's at the halfway point of the All-Star break coming up in Indy this weekend. But what is your assessment of who's in the running to be the WNBA Coach of the Year this year?
Okay. Natalie Nakase is the leader in the clubhouse for me because nobody had Golden State competing for a playoff spot and or holding one at the All-Star break
Right.
before this season started
Yeah.
anywhere on any chart that they had put out. I am going to put Tyler Marsh and Sydney Johnson on there as well at 1B and 1C. Just because of the resurgence that we've seen with Chicago, like we talked about, and just the consistency for Washington, the youngest team in the league, and
Yeah.
his development guru vibe
Yeah.
is permeating throughout that roster.
Doing that.
So those are the top 3 for me. Some folks were saying Nate Tibbetts, and I think it's cute that he's in the conversation, but he should be winning. He was given all the tools that he said he needed to win, and they're doing that. So I'm not as, and maybe because I was in it with him in his first season and I knew desperately the offense that he wanted to run and he just needed more shooters. Now he
Mhm.
has that and they're clicking and they're surprising everybody else. But for those of us in the Valley, we knew that this was the potential if the right players were on the roster. So he's not at the top. And then I would say Cheryl Reeve,
Yeah.
just because to have the same team, but to get them to buy in again, I think
Right.
is harder than to get them to push the rock up the hill the first time.
That's
So
true.
the fact that they're at the top of the table, yeah, I got Cheryl Reeve there as well.
And it's tough because if you had to make a decision today, and
Mhm.
we thank goodness as voters and everything, I think when you're looking at voting for anything, whether it's MVP, Rookie of the Year, right, Coach of the Year, I think
Mhm.
if you're at the top, like Cheryl Reeve is, right,
Yeah.
record in the WNBA, I mean, do you look? I don't want to say look down on that, but it's the consistency of excellence. But then you have,
Yeah.
Golden State, who no one had, like you said, on the bingo card, whatever.
Yeah.
And I've things on social saying, and this is not shade for the team at all. I saw someone else say this, so I'm going to preface this comment with that. But
Mhm.
they said that they're a team of appetizers, right? There's no one like or two or three-headed megastar monster, right?
But
For
to
this
me, that's more impressive.
like people, but they somehow have garnered the chemistry to
Mhm.
play exceptionally well on both sides of the ball. So yeah, when you're looking at Natalie and what she's been able to do,
Mhm.
yeah, how do you move what she's been able to do ahead of Cheryl Reeve? You know what I mean? So it's so tough
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you
But
can
I
just
think,
hear like,
for me, Natalie is there because everybody expected Minnesota to be at the top of the table.
yeah, and
So Cheryl Reeve is just meeting that expectation, but I give her credit for doing that because it's ridiculously hard.
yeah,
Natalie has went in a whole new structure,
dang,
created a culture,
yeah,
and gotten everybody to buy in and
yeah,
pull on the same rope with a lot of different moving pieces. It's Euro light, right? They had so many players go play
yeah,
Eurobasket.
right,
So it's, and to still stabilize, maintain, not let go of the rope. It's been really fun to watch. And
yeah,
that, oh my gosh, Christy, if you haven't gone to Chase Center, Valhalla is a vibe.
yeah,
It is
yeah,
so amazing.
yeah.
Don't mess around, WNBA, and let that team have home court in the playoffs.
Oh,
Don't do that because you will regret it. I know one fan base in Indiana thinks they have the best home court. No, sorry. You're not leading the league in attendance. And I have sat in those seats at the Chase Center. I've sat at Gamebridge before when it's been, playoff frenzy, when Tamika Catchings was helping that team rise and win in 2012.
yeah.
And it's Valhalla is that on steroids.
Oh boy,
So,
yeah, I
yeah.
got two. That's two things I got to put on the calendar and fly out there
Yeah.
and check
Yeah.
out. But I know for me, I just think that for across the board in the league, I think there should be a coach of the year. But I
Yes.
also think be a most improved coach of the year or most
Oh,
improved.
yeah.
I think. I mean, for me, that's just the duality of how I think about things, right?
Sure.
Consistency should be rewarded, but also the resurgence and the surprise, if you will, of
Yeah.
a lot of these young teams like with Marsh and Johnson, but also out in the Bay. So I just think there should be like a most improved coach. I think you should
Yeah.
have. I don't know if I'm alone in that. I mean, they changed the rules for the WNBA All Star Draft. I saw Fee and Cece. They traded the coaches. So
Oh, I wanted to see Clark play for Reeve. I wanted to see that. Like, I really am frustrated that we were robbed of
uh,
that.
but
Just
it,
because of all the dynamics, right? Like, Cheryl Reeve hasn't gotten to where she's at by not being able to get along with generational talent. Like, are you telling me she had a problem with Maya Moore? Come on. Like, what? So
yeah, no, I
But I
love.
wanted to see that because Caitlin feels some sort of way, right?
Yeah,
Because clearly she's like, I don't care what the rules are, we're changing coaches.
we're
So
switching.
I wanted Caitlin to have to live with that, right? Get
Yeah,
comfortable being uncomfortable because I wanted to see her grow as a player and
yeah,
whatever little dramatic fireworks might have come from it, as a fan being petty. But I wanted to see Caitlin grow
right.
ultimately, and now
Yeah,
I don't get to see that.
yeah, yeah. But with that, people say that Nafisa Collier built her team to win, and Caitlin
Yes.
Clark team to entertain. Do you?
Right, right, right. I do. I see a fee is not messing around. If, whatever money is on the line, she wants the bag. And yeah, Caitlin's roster is all about, okay, grab your popcorn. Let's have some fun. So
Fine.
yeah.
Yeah, how about that? I love it. It's gonna be fun. And who do you think's gonna come out on top? I know you kind of alluded to it a little bit.
Oh yeah,
Or
yeah. No, I think Team Fee is going to win. Yeah, yeah.
it'll be an electric atmosphere. Are you gonna be in Indy? for that?
No, I am not. I'm saving my pennies so I can go to more sites. I'm trying to figure out how to get to Atlanta and to Washington to finish out my WNBA tour in September. So I'm going to save my pennies and stay home and watch everything on TV. How about
Well,
you?
yes, but listen, you can save your pennies when you come to DC because it's brunch and basketball when you get here. So you just let me know when the
Woo!
time
There
we're
we
gonna go.
go. There we go. Speaking two of my favorite languages right there.
Let's go. Well, let's go. Well, I guess we've been on here for a minute, so tell people what you're up to and what's next and where they can find you on socials.
Cindy Brunson AZ on all of the socials, and I am just out and about and probably in a WNBA arena near you.
Love it. I love it. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for spending part of your day with us and breaking down WNBA hoops. Welcome to the W and all the fans. I hope you guys stick with us right here on the Her Hoop Stats podcast for all of the conversations, especially throughout the All-Star break coming up this weekend. So, Cindy, my sister from another mister. Oh, it's all love. Please you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much.